there were a couple of big names today that we learned about. Again, Greg Allman doing a lot of this reporting. There's some other sources out there that are reporting some of this news. But one of your favorites, Dameon Pierce, running back out of Florida, as well as Cincinnati's Jerome Ford, who really had a breakout year for the Bearcats this season, started off at Alabama. But these are two interesting running backs, are they not?
Very interesting. I think they both display a lot of patience and power. They run with a lot of drive, and from what I've seen, they've got great vision. I don't think either one of them blows the doors off when you look at their long speed. But I like both of them. I think they're both really interesting picks, and I think they could really complement the Bucs running back room well.
Yeah, and I think both of these guys can factor into the passing game, catching the ball out of the backfield. Both did a pretty good job of that. They weren't called on to be a receiving back the way that, say, Rashad White at Arizona State was, catching 45 passes, right? But even in the limited amount of reps that a player like Dameon Pierce did, it wasn't just the swing pass out of the backfield. You saw some angle, some Texas routes, some go routes down the sidelines, almost like a wheel route type of thing. So he's a little bit more versatile in terms of being able to catch the ball 5 yards and beyond the line of scrimmage, not just screen passes and swing passes that are at or near the line of scrimmage. So he brings some versatility there. Ford is really kind of a home run hitter. He is a guy that has some breakaway speed when he gets into the open field. More of a slasher, I think, than Pierce. Pierce will absolutely run you over. He's got a great little jump step. He can make you miss, almost like with a dead leg cut, and just the power. I mean, he's a guy that I've warmed up to, Josh. I was not the biggest fan of his. Kind of reminded me a little bit, because I just don't see a bunch of breakaway speed. At the same time, though, when you look at running backs in the NFL, they don't really have to be game breakers, because you're not going to have those open alleyways. There's no wide side of the field in the NFL like there is in college, Josh. And then when you're looking at the speed at the second and the third level, what is an 80-yard run in college, you might, if it's the same route and the same path and the same hole, you might get 12 to 20 yards, and that's considered a big play in the NFL.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we all think back to Rojo's 99-yard run against the Panthers.
Right.
He was here for 4 years.
Yeah.
One run like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that the important thing, and the Bucs have shown this, in terms of how they give out playing time, it's what can you do in the passing game? How can you facilitate that in terms of what you can you catch? Can you get upfield? And that was one of the things I really liked about Pierce is even on those swings and those screens, when he got the ball, he immediately was moving upfield.
Yep.
So he was turning something where he was getting the ball 2 yards, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a 5. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. We all know Tom Brady really appreciates moving the chains that way and creating easier opportunities for himself. And I think if you do that, you open up a 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 3. Now you open up the play action game. It opens up so many different options for the offense. So that's what I really saw in Pierce. I think Ford can do a lot of that as well. And Ford is a little bit faster than Pierce. I think he ran like a 4.46 at the combine. So definitely showed that he can have that long speed as well.
Yeah, one of my favorite backs coming out of Toledo was Kareem Hunt, one of the Bucs to draft him. They almost did. It was between Hunt and Chris Godwin in the 3rd round in 2017. The Bucs made the right pick. And take nothing away from what Kareem Hunt's done on the field. The off the field issues, different story, but it's certainly a good player. Had a fantastic rookie year, Pro Bowl season, led the league in rushing as a rookie for Kansas City. So I think that when you look at the speed, and it's just around a 4.6, a 4.55 or so for Dameon Pierce from Florida. But he does have that sense of urgency when he runs, right? It's like it's one thing to be a 4.55 guy, but damn it, get there quickly, right? Like hit the gas and get to your top 4.55 speed pretty quickly, because there are some backs that can clock in the 4.4s that they've got kind of a slow, gradual buildup, right? They're faster from 20 to 40 than they are, 0 to 20, and it's more important in the NFL because the holes are smaller and they're open, and they open and close a lot quicker, do they not?
They absolutely do. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's almost the opposite of wide receivers, right? Wide receivers, you've got the 40 time, but a lot of NFL evaluators, they look at the flying 20, that from 20 to 40 yards, because that's when they're underway. With running backs, it's the exact opposite. They're moving from a stop, getting the ball immediately. What can you do in that first 5, 10 to 20 yards? And I think that both those backs have shown that sense of urgency you spoke about in being able to maximize that short yardage ability.